Hello there, quarantined people, knife people, fountain pen people, bored people looking for something to do. I am Joe. You're watching my channel, Ink&Iron, and today I'm going to show you how to whittle. Why might you want to whittle? Maybe you've owned pocket knives for a long time. I know I have. I have dabbled in whittling before, and I just want to give you my tips and tricks on how to get started and what kind of things you should be doing to whittle effectively. Here are some things that I have whittled. Here's like a little Easter island head. Here's a little incomplete carving of a whale. See the little fluked tail? Yeah, it just doesn't have any little ventral fins. Here's a weird one from high school, I believe. It's like a screaming face with some screw eyes. So you can get creative here. Several spoons. I will not be doing spoons today. I'll be doing like a little figure. If you want to see a spoon video, just let me know in the comments. And my medium is going to be this stick. So I'm just going to have to come up with a design that works with this old piece of wood. All right, so let's go over what kind of equipment you're going to need. You will need a knife, obviously, to carve with. You could use something like a Victorinox knife. I would not personally go for a Swiss Army knife just because these are very high chromium steel. I would probably lean towards more like a carbon steel blade. So something like a very traditional Opinel. This is a French knife. It's good for just about anything from the kitchen, on picnics and carving. It does have very thin stock. You can see it almost disappears there. Thinness and ability to manipulate are going to be your friends here. I also prefer sort of a chunky handle. So you can tell there's kind of some meat here to grab onto, whereas something like you could, in theory, use a utility knife, although this handle with its squared edges and very thin grip is going to get uncomfortable after a while. You'll be surprised how much wear and tear your hands take from whittling. We'll go over that more later. And if you have a Mora knife or anything with a sort of Scandinavian grind, now is the time to pull it out, because this is what it's made for. In addition to a knife, you will need a piece of wood. I'm not a wood expert, but I would avoid pine because of the sap. This is a piece of maple, I believe. And the last thing that you're really going to need is a strop. So I have just some chromium oxide compound. One last note before we begin here. I want to talk about wood grain. So obviously all wood has a grain to it. You can see in this case it runs this way. So you can think of it like the bristles on this brush here, and you can think of this as a knife. So if we are carving, we're going this way, that is with the grain, right? We're going with the grain in towards the center here. This is the center of our, workpiece. So if we are carving this way and into the center, we can see that we are maintaining control and compression of these wood fibers, these bristles right here. These represent the wood fibers. However, if we go the other way, like if we're carving from the end of a piece and we go up, do you see how much I'm grabbing? And do you see how it's starting to take other fibers with it? We do not want to carve this way. We always want to carve with the grain in towards the center. So if I have to make a V, right? If I want to make a sort of V-shaped cut in here, I need to go from one side in and then from the other side in towards the center as well. It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache from ruining a piece if you keep in mind this little demo I just showed you. Okay, let's turn the camera around and actually get started. I am gravitating towards this end. I think I want to stop right around here. I think maybe I'll make a little like gnome figure, because I think this piece could kind of lend itself to like a pointy hat. So first I'm just going to mark out where I want to stop carving, and later on I will take a hacksaw to it and just chop it off clean. I'm going to start out with my Mora. I believe this is the companion model. but this is a carbon steel blade. And just for good measure, I'm just gonna strop it. This exposure is gonna get way blown out because of the lighting outside today, so just want to apologize for that. Stropping the knives is going to be a frequent chore while you are whittling, so if you do not have a strop, you're not going to whittle for very long. Okay, I actually have 2 strops today since I'm not trying to take a break to clean my strop, but if you want to know how to clean a strop, I just made a video about it. Right about here, I'm just putting the knife there and I'm pushing with my other hand because it's a more controlled way to apply pressure on the blade and bite into those fibers. Let me try and carve so that you can see it. Okay, flip it around. Try and get the opposite here. I am very rusty, so okay. So that line just tells me where I'm stopping. So let's see, front and back. Wood kind of curves this way, so maybe this is the face side, and this will be the back of the head. I think that's probably where I'm going. That puts my neck somewhere around here, so we can start notching into here. Since this piece of wood is being a little difficult to deal with, I'm going to take a different grip. So, holding the knife in a reverse grip, and I'm going to kind of push with my thumb, which kind of pulls the knife in. You can carve in a reverse fashion. Just remember, don't push too hard. You don't have to go crazy. If the knife isn't sharp, strop it up, but let the tool do the work. Do not try and force a dull blade through anything. Okay, made a bit of progress now. You can see this part is relatively cleaned, and this has just a little bit of stuff in there. And I just wanted to say, don't be afraid to, oh my god, the exposure. Don't be afraid to get the tip in here and try and push out some of this stuff. Good news, everyone. I found a better tripod. So, with this improved angle, hopefully you can see what the heck I'm doing. It's okay to use that tip in very tight spaces. Very traditional, like Texas toothpick kind of knives are going to be pretty excellent carvers as far as EDC, whittling concerns go. Okay, kind of plotting out the face. I'm thinking face, there would be like a hat brim and then the hat. So let's see, hat brim is going to be around here, I guess. So that means I need to make a straight cut because I want to try and preserve as much of the width as possible, and then make a slanted cut up to that line. And that gives us a nice notch that is angled on this side and straight on this side. Let me tell you, I am not looking through the camera lens on this one. This Mora is wicked sharp, and if I take my eyes off of it while I'm using it, there's a very good chance I will cut myself. This will be a brim of a hat. I'm going to make it a pretty exaggerated hat, I think. So I'm going to make another straight, for lack of a better word, cut. Since this is on the end of the piece, I'm going to switch back to my other technique. Thumb underneath the piece, and then now I am bringing the knife to the work. But because my thumb is guarded by the wood, it should stay safe. Well, I'm just very gently letting the blade do the carving work for me. Alright, let's see if we can't just get this thing off of here. Oh, there it goes. Snapped pretty good. Not every knot is going to be as easy as this one, but you can just carve it away like anything else. Let's start shaping this hat. This is where this design of knife really shines, this hogging away material. You can also carve it like this, although as you can see, I'm going to be very gentle because I am working towards my hand now. And if you're in doubt, take away less material than you think you need to, because you can always take more, but you can't put it back. Boy, this is an absurdly large hat. So I don't know if you can tell, I'm starting to kind of slide the knife as I'm cutting. All that means to me is I am subconsciously aware that the knife is dulling. Yep. So I'm just gonna strop it again. Don't be afraid to strop as often as you feel you need to. If you feel you need to, you probably need to. So right here I'm kind of flinging or flicking the knife. Like I'll make a little push cut and then I'll flick it out. And that is just an attempt to clear this very fine gap right here. I want this to be really pointy, like a Santa hat if you went ahead and, I don't know, starched it. And the reason I carve over a trash can is obviously to collect the scraps. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do about this knot. I guess I'll just kind of leave it in there. Maybe put it on the back side of this carving so that I don't have to explain what it is to people looking at the front. These are the kinds of decisions you have to make as an artist. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this sort of hat looking portion. So now on to the face. I have a knot here, which I was hoping to put at the back. I have a knot here as well. So, let's put in a flat cut right there. Yeah, screw it. Let's carve a little happy face. Does that look like a smile? It's a bit of a weird one. And yep, now I'm using this as a little drill. Kind of sight out where the eyes are going to go. Consider these the pupils. Now, you've seen my carvings, I'm not an expert, so this is going to be fairly rudimentary. But I'm okay with that. Just chilling today. Let's put a very shallow cut in there. I just want to take out this old oxidized wood on top. So I can maybe like carve some goofy little teeth in there. Okay, the nose. Nose is going to be challenging. Have to carve it back a little bit so it makes it look like it's sticking out slightly. How do I want to do this? Oh. Gonna try switching hands for a little bit more precision here. It's really hard to work on this left side using my right hand. Okay, might have cleared enough space. Usually I'm able to kind of switch between hands for various tasks, but for extensive knife use, I prefer to just use my dominant right hand. I apologize to all the people who thought they were going to sleep soundly tonight. This thing is terrifying. Okay, now we have our terrifying gnome face. You know what? This is gold. I'm just gonna keep it like this, and this is gonna show up in more videos. Cool. Yeah, I don't care. I'm doing it. Okay, I feel myself pressing harder. Gonna strap my knife again. So this is the second stropping, and yeah, like I said, strop as many times as you need to, because let's keep in mind this carving is only like the size of my thumb. So yeah, you're gonna need to be able to maintain your blade, especially the edge, during whittling. Oh my god, this is one of the weirder things I've ever carved, that is for sure. You're all feeling lucky that you got to witness it on YouTube. You're welcome. Oh man. Oh Joe, what have you done? What have you done? Okay, so this is going to be the face that we have ended with, and I'm just going to like carve the little shoulder portion. I'm debating shaving the skin off the hat. I guess I will, and we'll come back and have it all sawn off, and I'll show you the final result. Oh, what have I done? Let's cut it off. And there we have it. That is the carving. It took about an hour. And considering how creepy it is, and how weird it is, it's definitely staying on the channel. So if you have any ideas for names for this little figure, drop them in the comments below. And this has been a whittling tutorial by me. Alright, if you like this video, give it a like. Feel free to share. If you like this kind of content and want to see more from me, feel free to subscribe to the channel. That is Ink&Iron. And if you're really digging it, follow me on Patreon. My Patreon is free, though you can donate to the channel for even more bonus content. The free Patreon does have content, by the way. Okay, thanks for sticking in there for this, what is probably a super long video. I have been Joe, you've been watching Ink&Iron, and I will catch you on the next one. Don't forget, suggest a name, do it in the comments. Alright, bye.